Morning, everybody. Guys, check this out. God gave me a little illustration. I just thought I would throw it out there before we get started. The illustration that he gave me was telling me that sound is just like him. And what I mean by that is this, is you have your sound, and when you're close to it, you hear it real well. But sometimes we drift away further and further to where we can barely hear it. Sometimes to a point where that sound is almost gone in your life completely. That might be where you're at right now. And God is there in the darkness. He was there with me. And I'm here to tell you, call out to Him. Cry out to Him. And ask Him to come and rescue you. And turn your heart over to Him, guys. And when you do that, when you get closer to Him, like James 4:8 says, all of a sudden, the next thing you know, guys, that sound sounds like a loud drummer again. Because you are close to the source. That's why. There's no magic to this, guys. Here, my life before, my life now. It's a good song, too. You know, these music companies, they keep shutting me down. They keep bugging me about licensing stuff, man. You know what? I'm going to tell you, I was a DJ. I'm going to say this. The artists who want to complain about people playing their song should remember the only reason people want to hear their song is because somebody heard it and played it. You know how that works? I was a DJ. And so they would want to prohibit you playing it. It's like, dude, if I don't play your song, nobody's going to want to hear it. Sorry about that. It was my little thing. Guys, I want to talk to you about the verse of the day. Now that I'm done with my little music illustration. The verse of the day, guys. I quote this here because of the level of vomiting it brings me to in Christianity. I'll be quite honest with you. For all fall short, all have sinned and fall short of the kingdom and the glory of God. Here's the thing is, I don't mind the verse, but it's the way that people end up using it. And then they run and hide behind God when they do so. And what I mean is this, is when you do try to offer valid criticism to a man in a men's group, for instance, and you back them in the corner. Well, here's why sometimes I know people don't like me. I ask very direct questions. And that struggle, people have problems with that. And so, guys, as far as falling short goes, every one of us are going to fall short. But when we use that as our go-to verse, what we get to in Christianity, where somebody does offer you criticism and some counsel, and you rebuke it, and you finally get to a point where you ain't giving it up, and hey, we all fall short. We all fall short. Tell me you have not heard that statement like that more than lots of times. Sure, let's get real, guys. Here's the thing is, that's your fall to verse. That you naturally gravitate toward. That's what I'm telling you. Here's what I'm telling you, guys. You have a choice. Life is about choices. Nobody makes you do anything. We have a choice, guys, on another verse. Be therefore perfect, who is God who in heaven is also perfect. Now, here's the thing is, where we get stuck in this, I'm not Jesus. Those same people that will quote that other one, I'm not Jesus, I'm not perfect. You know what? Your odds of being it are real slim with that attitude, young man. Guys, I'm telling you, it's all about the perfect attempt. Like the movie Facing the Giants he had to have the faith when he went out there that even though he didn't have the power to make a field goal of 53, I should know this, yards, God could. And he did. got wind behind him, whatever was needed at that moment in your life. But here's the thing is, guys, this is God talking to you right now. David couldn't have done it if he didn't get out on the field and have the ball snapped. If he sat on the side, I can't do it on the sideline. Like many of Christians. I'll get shut down if I say all Christians are. That's what happened to me. That's what Facebook closed me for calling a few people hypocrites. I won't be specific about, who. But anyway, so guys, what's your go-to verse? That's what I'm asking you. What's your fallback verse? Are you falling to, we all fall short? Are you falling to, let's freaking shoot for that bullseye, man. I don't care how many times I fell. This is why God has me where I'm at. I have fallen in the dirt so many freaking times, and I don't care anymore, guys. It's not about that. It's about shooting for that bullseye. What I'm telling you is this. When I changed my attitude from that guy, I used to be that guy. Oh, I can't. I'm going to smoke crack, every night, is what I'm telling you guys is when I changed the attitude. And when God saw the change here, that's what an attitude change is. That is when everything changed for me. Guys, when I started saying, God, I'm going to trust you to make it down the middle every time. And I've not fallen with pornography one time or even come close to that. Self-gratifying, any of that. It's about arresting it up here. Well, you'll never have a forest fire if everybody's putting out the matches together. You get that, guys? What's your fallback verse? My fallback verse is I'm going to shoot for that freaking bullseye until I'm dead. That's what my fallback verse is. Because I shot for the bullseye of hell for 20 years. And all God asks is that I shoot it for the bullseye, but do it for him. How many of you out there are very influential people and you're using it for the darkness? It was meant for him, is what I'm telling you. You know how influential, how motivational, how strong in your speech is, but you choose to use it to manipulate people like I did. Controlling everybody. It's about a heart change, guys. Here's what I want to tell you. I want to ask you this. It is about, God put this in my head before I made this video. What is your view of evil? What is evil to you? Because most of the time, the things I could list off here, you would not view as evil. But God does. What I'm telling you is it needs to be a clarification on what's evil to God. Please. Because until you know that, how would you ever know how to conduct yourself? You could be doing the opposite is what I'm telling you. If you don't understand what evil is and what love is. Christians don't need to be read to more. They need to have things defined, things explained. What is your view of evil? And then ask yourself, what's God's view? Do those two match? That's what I'm asking you. Guys, I want to finish with this. This is a big heart passion for me. It was in my last video. I was reading Proverbs 4:23. Today's the 4th, man. It's Proverbs 4 day. It's the only verse I'm going to talk about, though. Because of what God says in it. Proverbs 4:23. I wrote it down this time. Above all else, guard your mind, for everything you do flows from it. I want you to think about this. Think about this, please. And be honest with yourself. Everything that you do flows from it. Above all else. What's it telling you to do then? Okay, it's telling you important. Guard it. How do you do that? We, as a Christian culture, have no answer for that. There's one answer. There is one answer. And how many Christians would answer it right? The only way to guard your heart is through 2 Corinthians 10:5, taking every thought captive. The only thing between your heart and your life is your mind. It's time to start using it, guys. It's time to start our life here, not here. Not getting obliterated down here. Is we are going to protect, above all else, the most important thing that everything in your life flows from, no matter who you are. Sorry, don't know where that came from. I love you guys, man. This comes from God, and it comes from my heart. Guys, your eyes and your mind is the key to everything in your Christian life. You need to take control of them through taking your thoughts captive. It's that simple. When you start taking your thoughts captive, you don't ever look at the woman, guys. You don't ever, ask yourself this question, please. When you say you fell into pornography, how do you lust after something you've never looked at? The whole crap that, first look's free. It is free. It's free for ruining your freaking marriage. That's what it's free for. That statement did not come from God. Understand that. These cliches from the world. Guys, it's time to start understanding that your Christian life, guys, I did this for so long. This is why I'm telling you this. Your Christian life is not based upon your show you put on the outside. Okay? Everything about it, throw away all of that, is what goes on in your mind when nobody else is looking except God. Where are your eyes looking when no one else is looking but God? And what are you looking at? And here's what I'll say, guys. How do you watch TV or look on Facebook or whatever? I'll write a story about this soon without falling into sexual. Christian freaking women. I have to struggle with looking at cleavage shots. Christian women. I could quote a verse there, but I won't be judgmental. That wouldn't be wise counsel or valid criticism. Guys, please control your thoughts and mind and guard your heart by doing so. That's the only way. There is no physical way to guard your heart. He's not talking about putting armor on you. He's talking about guarding it in this. The only thing, your spirit light, is what we're talking about here. The only way to keep that light on is by controlling what goes on here, guys. I beg you. This is my testimony coming back from the grave for Jesus Christ himself. I love you guys.